Truck Talk Action. Today's April 30th. Tonight at 9 p.m. I'm picking up the keys to the new office space. Now, for those of you that have been here for a long time, y'all know I've been working out of my husband's garage. And I say my husband's garage because it is his garage. I mean, he's got all of his tools, he's got all of his things. And I had like a small section in the corner. I can't even remember what I had before we had the cabinets. I don't remember. Maybe just some type of shelving. But it's been fine. It's been a bit of a struggle just because it's a community area. You know, the kids bring stuff in, Josh brings stuff in. Josh likes to do his extracurricular activities out there, which I don't do extracurricular activities. And it's just not a professional space. You know, when it was just me and maybe one other staff member, it was fine. But as time has gone on, I'm in year 6, I'm wanting to level stuff up, I'm wanting to hire, and I just didn't feel very confident being like, hey, come back to my garage where my husband is, you know, extracurricular activities. Or, hey, I want to have a meeting with you, let's meet at the coffee shop, which I'm not saying that you can't do business like that. I mean, I know a lot of people that still do business like that, and I did business like that for a while, but I just felt like it was a hindrance for me with the growth that I wanted to do. And I will say, working at home, sometimes I get lazy when it's office days. I'm like, oh, I have all this housework that I could do, or I got this bed that I could go like lay in, and I would get very unfocused and focus on things that aren't necessarily priority with the business. So, you know, I have the podcast studio, which is in the bedroom, and then that doubles as a office space for like when I do office work. Of course, there was a cop going as soon as I was speeding, but he ain't bothered. He ain't worried about the hot pink truck. Back to the truck talk. So it was just like weighing on my heart. I'm just like, okay, I need to get out of here. But I'm like, can I afford to leave? Can I not afford? And I reached out to Trisha Dork. I met her at Launcherpreneur Academy, which I had actually heard her on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, because she was the realtor that helped Brian and Liz get their property. And when I heard her speak, I was like, I want to meet her. I want to meet this woman. So I found out she was going to be a guest speaker at Brian's event at LAL. What year was it? 2021, I believe. And I told Josh, I was like, we're going. And I told myself, I was like, I'm going to meet Trisha. I'm going to go up to her. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to shake her hand. That was the sole reason. Like, Brian, not that I think that you watch my videos, but if you are, I love your stuff. But I went to that event to meet Trisha. And that's what happened. There was a pre-event the day before, like the night before, at like this go-kart place, and I seen her standing there. I didn't really know anybody. I knew like Rory from Patriots Lawn Care, you know, but he was busy. He knows a lot of people. He was talking to a lot of people. So he chatted with me for a minute, and then he went off. I was like, all right, let's do this. So I seen her. I walked up to her, I shook her hand, I introduced myself, and immediately I connected with her. Immediately. I was like, yes, I like this woman. And I connected with her when she was on the podcast. And that's why I think like doing YouTube and doing podcasts and bringing people on is so important, because I have been able to build a platform, and so now I'm able to allow other people that know way more than I do, give them a platform to give information and help the community grow, which is everything's just been crazy. Everything's been crazy and cool. But anyways, back to Trisha. Over the years, we've kept in contact, and she did a little bit of coaching with me on like personal development. I didn't necessarily want business coaching from her. I needed personal development, like as a woman, because I see her as like a strong, powerful, go-getter woman. And at that time, I wasn't feeling very strong. I wasn't feeling very powerful, because My eating was out of control. My drinking was, I wouldn't say it was out of control. It was just, I was drinking and the way that I would act wasn't controllable, and it all kind of just went to itself. I had some personal relationships that were not very good. And so me and Trisha had some very deep conversations. We talked about my marriage. We talked about my relationships with my brother and with my parents, the relationship with myself, relationships with employees, and not being able to have the difficult conversations. I cried. Like, we were on Zoom and I cried. Last year, I cried the entire year. The whole year I cried. But last year was a very important year for me. There was a lot of mental growth that happened in that year. Okay? And through that time, Trisha and I have stayed in contact. I did 75 hard with her in an accountability group, and I lost like 21 or 22 pounds, which is amazing. I developed some really good skills. And so her and I were chatting, and I was telling her the struggles and like the pain points I was having, and she gave me some real life experience information and suggestions. And coming from somebody that's successful, I literally eat every word up that she says, because she is proven that she's done these things. And I told her, I was like, I just don't know if I should move out. Is it stupid? Should I just stay here? And she laid it all out, and this is what she told me. It's not verbatim. This isn't verbatim. But it was, listen, you want to level up, right? You want to look more professional. You yourself have been leveling up. You yourself personally, with the way that you look, have been leveling yourself up. With your business, with your branding, all of it. You know, and you're developing this brand, and so working out of your house isn't conducive with the brand that you're developing. And if you want to get into these higher end neighborhoods, because I told her, I was like, I want to get in higher end neighborhoods, I think I should move out there. I had looked at the house building online, and I was like, I don't know, I think it's too nice. I was like, I think it's too nice for me. I don't think I need something not as nice. Told her that, and then she circled back to it, and she was like, we need to talk. And I was like, okay, what? And she's like, I know you said this is too nice, but listen, like you said, you're leveling up. You want to get involved in these communities. You're going for a higher end customer. This is on Main Street. It's cute. It's adorable. It's spacious. You have space for your podcast. And she painted this vision for me, or this picture, that I necessarily wasn't able to see myself, because I was putting self-limiting beliefs on myself. I was the one that was putting the blocker up. And I think a lot of us do this without realizing it. We self-sabotage ourselves. Oh, that's too nice. I can't do that. I can't afford that. I mean, at times there's things that you can't afford, but maybe you can't afford it right now, but what can you do to make it happen so you can afford it? And yeah, this place is a bit out of my budget. The original asking price was way out of my budget. But I do believe the Holy Spirit has been giving me a lot of, Holy Spirit has been putting a lot of blessings on my plate. I'm a little overwhelmed with the amount of blessings. But it's happening, and I'm gonna figure it out. But the woman dropped the rent. She dropped the rent into something that was at the top end of my budget for what I felt comfortable with spending, but it was still within my budget. And I was looking at it, and when Trish and I laughed, and she's like, what do you think? And in that moment, I knew that I needed to take that place. But I was like, I don't know, let me just think on it. I don't know, back on it. But I already knew. There was nothing to think on. So I called her, and I was like, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And so she facilitated it and got everything set up. And I don't know how to do any of that. And so me reaching out to her, because that's what she's a 10 at, brokering these kind of things. she was able to facilitate it. All I had to do was ask a couple questions, sign on the dotted line, and we were good to go, baby. And I had to pay the first and last month's rent up front, write a check, do all the things, which boom, okay, bow, 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 pay the monies. And now tonight at 9 p.m. I'm picking up the keys and I get to move in. Essentially I can move in tomorrow, but your girl's got a long day tomorrow, so I might have to go after work, after hours, just to go scope it out. I don't have a lot of stuff to move in there because I didn't have a lot of space anyways, so it's not like I have a ton of stuff, but I do have some things to move in, and we're just gonna grow into the space. I want to build out the podcast studio. I want to build out the back area where we're gonna like store all of our supplies and have all the KPS stuff. And then I want to build out the front office area, because that would be like the entranceway when somebody comes down. I want to like build that out and make it look all nice. And so there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of potential, but with all of that, with the extra overhead, it does come with more stress. It comes with more responsibility, because when you're a solo scooper and it's just you're working out of your house, you're working out of your garage, it's like, whatever, it's fine, I don't have all this overhead. But then when you have employees that are counting on you, now you have to pay rent, you have these vehicle payments, it's more responsibility. And if you're not careful, you can let it consume you and freak you out. Oh, I gotta get over it. Hold on a second. Let me get over it, lady. I know I last minute it, but it's fine. You see my blinker. I never said I was the best driver. I get to point A to point B. But where we were at, with the responsibility, if you let it, it could really just wear you down. And so I do feel like I need to be intentional with the amount of responsibility that I'm taking on, and making sure that I'm taking care of myself. And what does that look like for me? Making sure that my diet stays good, because I know I talk about like diet and eating a lot, but the food really does mess with me. It messes me up, because if I overeat and I lose control of that, then I have issues with like my self-confidence, because I'm not even able to control what I'm putting in my mouth, which is absurd. Like, that's literally this is how I feel. A lot of things are out of our control. A lot of them. But the one major thing that is literally in our control is the things that we put into our mouths and the things that we say out of our mouths. Those are the two things that we can really control. Everything else, what else can we actually control? You know? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious if you think of something else. And I started this channel back in 2018 with a video like this, when I was leaving my hospital job. I was talking about the journey, and the main purpose of this channel has been to document the journey. There's been times with the channel that I've gotten kind of lost and confused and not sure what I wanted to do with the channel, if I wanted to keep going. And I think that comes with just doing things in life, right? You have your ups and you have your downs, but if you stay consistent and you stick to the path that you are trying to do, it's easier to be able to do the things, make the videos, call the customers, whatever it is, on the days when you don't feel like doing it. And it might feel like you're not doing enough at the moment, but all of that stuff compounds. Just like if you're putting money away for retirement. If you're putting away, $100 a month, $500 a month, $1,000, I don't know, whatever you're putting away. Which Roth IRA, I think you can put like $560 something away a month. So if you're not putting money away for retirement each month, I suggest that you do, because it compounds. When I was 18 years old, I had $1,000, maybe $2,000. Now I have thousands. I have thousands and thousands of dollars in retirement. And when I retire at 60 something, there's gonna be, I'm not gonna lie with you guys, there's gonna be millions in there with the way that we've been doing things. I mean, as long as the stock market is still doing its thing. But I'm not gonna not put money in there because I'm gonna be like, oh, the stock market's gonna crash. I can't, you know, I'm not gonna put anything in there. I'm still gonna do it, because what if it doesn't crash? Then I'm definitely a multi-millionaire, and Josh is a multi-millionaire too, because we're putting a little bit away each time. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but money talks to people, so it's like the same concept. So you do the little things that don't really feel like you're doing anything, you're not making any headway, but it all adds up. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, like with the YouTube channel and meeting people and making connections and impacting people and growing the business, and then growing the business from the cobalt and the magnet all the way up to having these beautifully branded vehicles moving into an office space in downtown Northville, right on Center Street, super visible, right next door to a high traffic grocery store. Too bad it wasn't a high traffic pet store, you know. But that could be on a goal sheet, you know, that could be on a goal list for something in the future. I don't know. I was listening to an Instagram live last night with Naylor from LCR Media and Attack with Mac. And Naylor said, this hit me hard. He said, if you can think it, you can create it. He says he writes stuff down in a notebook, and he's been doing this for years. And he was at, I can't remember who, it was a YouTube person that did lawn care, very, very successful money. They were at his house, and he ran inside and grabbed his notebook and showed, I don't know who he showed, but Paul, I think. It was like, I wrote this down, that I would be in this guy's house. And he was just like blown away. And so he said, if you can, where did he go? Yeah, if you can think it, you can create it. And that got me thinking about my life, and it got me thinking about not all the things, but a lot of the things that I've thought of, I've been able to do. So I went downstairs, I went and got myself a little notebook, got myself a pen, and in the inside of it, I wrote, if you can think it, you can create it. I wrote that in the inside cover, and I'm just gonna start writing down the things that I want to do. Even if it's outlandish, even if it's like, girl, you are crazy, it's fine. It's fine to think it, because I'm done having the self-limiting beliefs and stopping myself from dreaming big, because I feel like I did that for a long time. Because someone's like, how dare you? How dare you think that you can be successful? How dare you think that you can make 6 figures with a pooper scooper business? How dare you think you can make $1 million with a pooper scooper business? Well, I'm telling you what, I know a handful of people that I've personally spoken to that are $1 million pooper scoopers. And I actually am going to have one on the podcast tonight. I'm going to do that. Yeah. $1 million pooper scooper is going to be on the podcast. We're going to record at like 5 o'clock my time. Because I got to go get my keys at 9. So I needed to like make sure my schedule was all figured out. So. If you can think it, you can create it. So if you're new to this channel and you're new to my videos, my apologies for not introducing myself. My name is Erica Kroopin, and I'm the owner of Kropin's Poopin, Scoopin, and the owner of KPS Media, LLC. KPS Media came from my social media, and that's the Scoop Podcast. And the Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin social media channels is part of the KPS Media. If you're like, what's KPS Media? Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin. You know where I got that idea from? LCR Media. Lawn Care Rookie. That's where I got that from. hey, why reinvent the wheel? Just take inspiration. I take a lot of inspiration from the lawn care community, because when I started my pooper scooper journey on video back in 2018, there was not a lot of people making content, and times have changed and a lot more people are making content, and I am very excited to see it. Part of me is like, I'm like nervous, because I'm like, I'm gonna be like irrelevant, you know, because now there's all this competition. But no, it's good. I wanted this. I've asked for this, because now we're building communities, and I'm just not the only voice out there, because I don't know everything. I only know what I know. So it's good to like take inspiration from all these other people. And it's nice to see it. And in like 20 years, like, what is this community gonna look like in 20 years? It's gonna be huge. I know it's gonna be huge. And so many people's lives are going to be changed. And hopefully I have my lake house, my A-framed lake house, because your girl wants an A-framed lake house. Just, we're gonna throw that one out there. And for those of you that have been watching my channel and been following me, thank you for being here with me and going along this journey. Time is precious. We don't have a lot of it. So the fact that you take the time out of your day each week or each month or whatever, you know, how much ever time that you end up spending with me along all my social medias, just know I appreciate you so much. And we're headed on to another chapter. This is like 6 years in. What is this, like Kroopin, Poopin, Scoopin 2.0? Is it 2.0? Something like that? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what this version of Kroopin, Poopin, Scoopin is. But, okay, I am to my first HOA station, and it took me 22 minutes and 26 seconds to get to my first house. All right, you guys, Erica Kroopin signing out. Bye.